Hello everyone! Don't mind my weird backdrop. It's because in the process of moving, so I think, yeah, this is a fridge, freezer, this is wardrobes and some other stuff I got. But don't mind that. Representing Africa, you can see the garden must go there. I do want to say thank you guys so much for 2k. I can't even believe I'm at 2k, to be honest. Like, it's still weird to me that I've got over 2,000 subscribers. This definitely sounds better than what I was saying before. So thank you guys, I appreciate it so much.
We are sip the Henny for the day, baby. Bad man, we no stray, baby. Oops, I done fell for your way, baby. I know, girl, but you don't know from the first time I seen your love, you got me, baby. Even though, girl, I know that I would fall for you, you got to know that everyone falls.
Chimande, Ngozi, Adichie.
She is like, I know her already because she's like, I just know her as a Dechi though. And she's like a novelist. She writes some amazing books. She's like a bestseller in Nigeria. And she's a feminist as well. But forget about that. It's what she said on Channel 4 about transsexuals. She was basically asked if she classifies transsexuals as real women. She said, I think if you've lived in a world as a man with the privileges the world accords to men and then switch gender, it's difficult for me to accept that then we can equate your experience with the experience of a woman who has lived from the beginning in the world as a woman and who has not been accorded those privileges that men are. And you know what I think? It's very disgraceful, to be honest, and disgusting that trans people are coming for her opinion. She wasn't saying anything bad. She's right. It's two different things. I don't even put it in the same boat, to be honest. I've always found it a strange thing that people do that, but I've just never said anything because I didn't want to hurt anyone. But you know what? LGBT take everything to heart. Anyone that has anything that's an opinion of theirs, and it's not even, she wasn't even belittling anyone, to be honest. She didn't say anything disrespectful in my book, but people are tarnishing her, dragging her for left, right and centre. Jesus Christ, I butt her all the time, but yet used to use like offend people in your own community all day long. So I don't even understand. Like, she didn't even say anything that harsh. I don't classify the two. I don't classify a trans woman and a biological woman as the same. No way. I would always see a transgender person as a transgender. I'm sorry, I would. Like, it's, and I'm saying that, and I'm part of LGBT. I mean, what do you want? Jesus, people are allowed to have opinions, you know. I mean, you can't be a man and then know exactly what it's like to be a man, and now just because you've transitioned, for women to open their arms to you, you'd always have an advantage in a way that you've been. Do you think how many women would love to know what men are thinking? And you've been in that body, no matter how you thought, you have been there. So you have had the privilege of doing what you needed to do as a man. There's a lot of people that before they transition, they have kids, you know. I've seen it a lot. They have kids and they have their lives and they're married, then they suddenly come out and say that this and this. My lord, it's so selfish. Oh no, I agree with her actually. I don't classify trans women as real women. I can't put someone in the same category as my mum. My mum's a biological woman, and then you got a trans woman stand next to her and they have the same struggle and the same fight. I don't think so. No. I mean, you may physically and you may mentally be, but if they open up your body and they look at your anatomy, people are going to know that you was a man before. So you will always, no matter how much you change, you will always be the person that was born into this world. You'd always be that, no matter how much of this is changed and how much is here is matching the outside, the inside, doctors will know when you open up a biological woman and a trans woman that the two are different. So you can't ever really classify yourself as a real woman and know what a real woman's struggle has been like. You know, when they're having organisations and trans communities and communities, you need to not always shelter stuff and attack every single thing. You have to let people know stuff that are realistic. we're living in a world where not everyone is going to see you like that, and you need to be honest. Don't delude yourself just because you feel a certain way inside and now you're transitioning to match the outside of the person that you feel inside. It doesn't mean that the world wouldn't still see you as who you was before you transitioned, especially when you look physically like a man like Bruce Jenner, I mean Caitlyn or whatever. Like, you can't that I would never be fooled into thinking that was a woman that come from someone's family. Never in life. So I mean, you have to understand that if you're coming out, these are what you're going to have to face. It's going to be hard, but as long as you embrace who you are and embrace the transition that you've gone through and never be ashamed of your transition. Yes, but to classify yourself as now a real woman, I definitely think, you know, it's wrong. I think you should always acknowledge that you're trans, and you acknowledging that, you know, God, you have to give some women some respect, man. You have to give biological women that much respect. Always like, Jesus, I wouldn't do that. No. I would like to know what you guys think though. Do you think Adechi's comments were offensive? Do you... Because to me, compared to what I've heard from a lot of Nigerians, it definitely weren't offensive. And not just because I'm not a part of the trans community, because I'm just being honest. You have to be realistic with things, you know. Jesus, stop living in such a bubble and be realistic. I appreciate when people have opinions and when stuff are negative. What she said was negative. It was just real. Gosh. Jesus, to me she would disrespect you. No, she didn't. Everyone dragging her for what reason? I beg, get a grip on yourself. Stop being so butthurt over every single little thing. Ugh.
I'm ready to go.